When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger, where you'll find over 30,000 mouth-watering choices that excite your inner foodie. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices, plus extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week. You can also save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with fuel points. More savings and more inspiring flavors make shopping Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
We love spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. If you would like to take your listening experience to the next level, did you know there's a way to do that, Jabo?
I do.
Yep, you know how you do it. You go to thetjshow.com, you sign up for the TJ Show newsletter, and you get cool things dropped right into your inbox, like the TJ Show's 10 shares. We pick 10 different things, everyone on the team does it, that we think you're going to love. It's not just about our show. This is about like stuff, music we're listening to, whatever it may be.
Life stuff.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more in there. Sign up at thetjshow.com. This is the TJ Show, and congratulations to you. You have reason to celebrate built into your day. Jabo, you're alive.
That is true.
Producer Kenny.
It's Friday Eve.
Yeah, that's true. You're breathing, Kenny.
Breathing, and I have a pulse.
If you can hear the sound of my voice, you've got built-in celebration. You are walking another day. Look at this. Wonderful news.
And can I say something real quick, though? Because it's easy to be like, oh, I'm alive. And if life is going great, it's cool to say all that. But there was a time in my life where I would wake up and I would be so upset that I was alive. So if you're in that space right now, like, I want you to know that it does get better. Like, there is hope, and you just got to keep on going and keep your head up, and you'll get to see that sunshine and that rainbow for sure. So
yeah, there you go.
In a few years and maybe in a few months, you'll be celebrating the fact that you're still alive.
That is a great point, and you are today, which is so good, Jabo. Also, more good news. The world is not all bad. Like, I think we can look at it sometimes and think, wow, everything's going terribly. And that's just not true. I'm going to tell you a very quick story. You know I love taking pictures, right?
Yes.
And fairly recently, I saw a deer outside of my window in my bedroom. And I'm like, oh, this is great. He's right there. I'm going to take a picture of this thing. So I go and get my camera, and I put the lens, and I'm looking at it through the window. And I'm like, it'd be so much better if I could just open the window. And so I make the mistake of opening the window, and the deer gets afraid because it hears the window open, and it runs off into the woods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, life shouldn't be that way. I should be one with the animals. And right at that moment, I look on the floor of my bedroom, and I see my dog Luna sitting there peacefully, trusting me. And I'm like, that's how it should be. And I feel like that's a microcosm of how life is, right? There's like all this brokenness, and you got the deer running away. It shouldn't be afraid of me. I wasn't going to hurt it. But then there's this beauty too. Luna, my dog, just trusts me. Yeah. It's right there. I do get to be one with the animals, even in the midst of all the brokenness.
Yeah, well, Luna trusts you because she's built a relationship with you.
Right.
Yeah,
I know.
that deer doesn't know you from Adam.
Right, I know. That deer thinks I'm... Well, you got these hunters around who are, popping a few of their friends.
Yeah.
And so I understand why it's running away.
Survival kicks in. You can't blame it.
That's right. Yes, Kenny.
Were you wearing your orange jacket yesterday?
No, I wasn't.
Maybe if you wore camo, the deer wouldn't have seen you.
Right, I know. Well, listen, it's a complicated world we're in. I understand that, but there is some good here, and I see it all the time. I was, I love going to the auction, right?
Right, yeah.
And the auction is a fascinating place because it reminds us that we're not going to be here forever. They have these estate sales, and they sell people stuff, and I'm just so interested in it, and I try to get there often. And I noticed on the list of auctions that in another week, there's going to be a taxidermy auction. And I'm like, what is that? And I click on it, and I see it's like close to 100 animals that are stuffed. And I'm like, whoa. What is the story behind this? This seems creepy. Like, is this one person's collection, which it seems to be? And you go, first of all, how is that okay? And like, after a few foxes or a bobcat, don't you start to feel bad when you go into that room where they've got all the taxidermy animals? Like, doesn't that upset you at some point?
And you're wondering why that deer ran away from you? That deer's like, nah, fam, I lost a couple cousins and some friends.
Did you see the auction?
You're not going to get me.
Right. You see that auction down the street?
Right.
They positioned my friend Sal to be in a jumping over a branch.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen to me. All right. Fair point. Father's Day right around the corner. Why do we have to wait till Sunday to honor our dads? Producer Kenny called his dad to get his take on Father's Day. Because, it seems some dads care about it, others don't.
Right.
Give me your honest opinion about Father's Day.
Well, I actually enjoy the day. I actually enjoy not having much to do on that day. So that's part of my tradition.
So he just likes to sit around, which is fair.
Just kind of chill. Yeah, he's probably a very busy man.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like it's a day where I should do anything more than not have to do anything if I don't want to.
Does your family get the message on that? Do they ask him to do things around the house? How do they receive that?
Yeah, we get the message. I mean, I'll probably schedule a tea time. I know he likes to play golf, or maybe he'll want to go fishing.
But
or
are you
something
listening?
like
He
that.
said he doesn't want to do anything.
He wants to chill,
Well, he wants to
can
do the things he wants to do. That's the key.
All right.
I heard nothing.
Yeah, I
that
heard
man said,
nothing.
leave me alone.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I'm happy to have him sit on the couch and leave us alone.
Just stare at him?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my idea of a good Father's Day.
I'm looking forward to Sunday, and hopefully you'll like your gift.
Can't wait.
Yeah, my idea of a good time is, nothing. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah. You know your dad. You collected a list of your dad's dadisms.
Yeah.
So it's the things that your dad says, and every dad has these. Could you take us through your favorite dadisms that your dad says?
Well, my favorite one, I think, so if he's ever referring to my brother or sister or to me or any of us, to one or the other, he'll refer to us as each other's sons and daughters.
That's interesting.
So, like, if he's talking about my sister Allie, he'll say, "Oh, well, did you talk to your daughter about that?"
Oh, that's great. That's funny.
Or my brother John, "Well, you got to tell your son he's got to get his act together."
He like passes off his kids. That's great.
What is he doing? Like a mind trick on you?
I don't know where this came from, but now I find myself, like, if I'm going to refer to my mother, I'll call her your mother to my dad. "Hey, Dad, talk to your mother. She wants to know what you want for dinner."
Yeah. We have weird things in our families, don't we?
Yeah, my dad, his famous line, although this is pretty generic, "I might have been born at night, but it wasn't last night."
See, it gets a laugh.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah,
These are classic, tried and true sayings that just work.
Yeah, he loves to say, "I'll buy, you fly," which means he wants you to go out and get something for him. And he's willing to pay for it, but he doesn't want to get up off the couch.
Oh.
"I'll buy, you fly."
My dad does that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, does he do that?
Like if we want a watermelon, he'll give me the money, but I got to go to the store. and
Yeah,
get it.
that's the best kind of deal, though. Let them pay for it.
That's fine. I'll do the work.
Of course, there was one I told you guys about. He said, "I'm on a need-to-know basis, and right now, I don't need to know." Which it seems most of the time he doesn't need to know. He's always on a need-to-know basis.
This is great. Have you thought of encouraging your dad to write a dad wisdom book?
I'm keeping like a journal myself. I think I might publish this book. I'll give him a
clearly.
small cut of it. And I like to partake in a little cannabis every now and again. And my dad would always say, "There's a reason why they call it dope, dopey."
That's great.
Can you listen to your dad a little bit more,
Yeah.
Kenny? Come on.
He's a smart
Yeah,
man.
he's chilled out a little bit over the years.
Oh, okay. Is that why he's so calm?
Actually, he stays away, but he's at least gotten off my back about my enjoyment.
Thank you.
He cares for you.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Kenny. And to all of our dads celebrating on Sunday, we hope you have an amazing day with your family. If you've got kids in school, you may find this very interesting. I did. I saw this headline. I wonder if this will change the way schools discipline kids. There's a school district in Dallas. They're hoping to do discipline a little differently. Currently, certain offenses committed by a student sends the student into a discipline alternative education program. Some of the offenses in this new plan will still require this plan of action, but for lower level offenses like bus misconduct, dress code violations, from hazing to cyberbullying, they want to try something different. It's a new plan where they send a student to a 6-hour Saturday school or community service if their parents also take a 3-hour parenting class. So when the kids get in trouble, the parents then have to go to a parenting class, which is really pretty fascinating. I wonder if parents will get a little bit more involved and say, "You better behave when you go to school because now you're messing with my schedule." And I guess would the parents have to agree to this arrangement before the school year?
Well, all I know is that my mother, she didn't need any of this for me to behave in school. My mama, she told me, if I have to come pick you up from school because you're misbehaving, dealing with the principal is the least of your concerns.
Somehow you behaved.
I sure did.
According to the district, the classes would involve, these are for the parents, support and guidance for areas of student concern, parenting sessions to review students' academic and behavioral progress, campus resources to promote positive student outcomes, mental health support, and school counselor involvement. You know, the first thought I have as a parent is, well, who the heck is teaching this class and what do they know?
Right.
Are they teaching the right way to parent or a weird way to parent that's actually not helpful for anyone? But, I mean, in my own life, I can only speak from my own experience. I'm just being honest. When we first had our baby, Charlie, I had never even held a baby before her. I knew nothing. I didn't know. I was only aware of what I've seen other parents do growing up, what my own parents did. And I've had to really humble myself. And the most helpful thing that I've found in parenting is, first of all, reading really great research on parenting and getting the latest of what they're saying is good for your kids. But like, you know, real stuff, not nonsense. I think you can tell the difference, what's nonsense and what's actually hurting our kids and what isn't. And then the other thing that's really helped me, talking to other parents. And the way that I figure out what parents I want to talk to is I look at how their kids are behaving. What is the fruit of their parenting? You know the difference. I mean, there's certain kids that are just wonderful. You're like, wow, you're so polite. You're doing your homework. You're getting great grades. I want to hang out with their parents. And I want to find out, what are you doing to get that result? And that's how I find who I want to talk to, who I want to confide in, who I want to trust. And that has been life-changing for me because the parents do have to be trained. It's not just about the kids. Oftentimes it stems from the parents that the kids are acting in the way that they're acting.
Yeah, and this parenting class may be very helpful if a parent isn't really connected to their child, or maybe they're just, and I get it. Sometimes if you're a single parent, it's hard because you're working 2 jobs and trying to provide for your kids. And sometimes kids end up raising themselves or a grandparent or an uncle or whatnot. But I think that would be helpful for the parent to be more in the know of what's going on with their kid. And at the same time, there's some parents who are just so great, but the kid's just a jerk. And at that point, the kid has to face the consequence of like, you want to make dumb decisions? Well, there's consequences to deal with.
And look, this school is at least trying to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see how this experiment works. And who knows, if it's got good results, maybe it'll start affecting change in other areas of the nation and beyond.
So.
This is the TJ Show. This edition of the TJ Show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Yeah, the year is going by quite quickly.
Bro, I blinked and it's gone.
Halfway there. And sometimes it's hard to take inventory on how we're doing. And I think one of the ways to truly assess our progress is by talking to someone else about it. Therapists have made me realize, oh, actually, maybe I'm further along than I think. Because our mind can play tricks on us.
That's right.
And we've got to talk through this kind of a thing. Whether you're celebrating big wins, small wins, whatever it is, knowing that you're winning or if you're not, how to change that is so valuable.
A win is a win, and therapy is a win.
I agree with you. If you've ever considered it, go to betterhelp.com/TJ. That's betterhelp.com/TJ. You fill out the questionnaire, you get linked up with a licensed therapist. If for some reason it's not a fit, you can switch therapists anytime, no additional fee. Take a moment, visit betterhelp.com/TJ today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TJ. BetterHelp.com/TJ. This edition of the TJ Show is sponsored by Omaha Steaks. Oh, they make Father's Day so easy.
Yes.
But still keep up the quality of the Father's Day gift. I'll give you a story about my dad, how much he loves steak. So we were out at my daughter Charlie's recital, and it was like 8 o'clock at night. The thing finishes up, and he goes, "Hey, T, where can I get a good steak?" I'm like, "Dad, it's nighttime. We got to get the kids ready for bed." "Oh, no, it's fine. But if I had an Omaha steak in the refrigerator, it would have been easy."
That's just a solution to the problem.
So for Father's Day, you want to get the right gift for your dad, right? It's right around the corner. Do it now. The Father's Day experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to put a smile on Dad's face this summer. Hand-selected gift packages starting at just $89. All you got to do is go to omahasteaks.com, use the promo code TJ at checkout for an additional discount when you shop gourmet gift packages for Father's Day. Go to omahasteaks.com and use the promo code TJ to get some exclusive savings. Omaha Steaks, they know great steaks, and dads love steaks. This is the TJ Show. I got a DM from our listener, Jay. He says, TJ, I just wanted to reach out and say thank you for the segment, this was yesterday, about having a positive outlook on life and how it relates to health. Yeah, you know, we read a story, there was some research about optimism and how, although it's not a cure-all, there are clear links to health benefits if we are more optimistic about our day every single day. Jay goes on to say, my current career has swayed me into a very negative mindset over the past year. And I've noticed I've been sick a lot over the past year.
Oh, man. So sorry to hear that.
It wasn't until you were talking about the mindset today that it dawned on me how negative and anxious I've been. Thank you for the wake-up call. It was more needed than you know. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for that, Jay, and thank you for reaching out. Because, listen, I was in that same boat. I shared my story yesterday. When I first started dating my wife, Jess, she called me out on it. She was like, you're so negative. Like, I mean, she did it in a much nicer way.
She's polite.
But I would often gravitate towards saying, well, what if this happens? Or what if that happens? And I had no idea. Like, that didn't even dawn on me that that was anxiety.
Yeah.
And she pointed it out because, you know, she's talked to therapists over the years, has been through a lot. She was able to point it out in me, and it actually shifted my whole perspective moving forward. And I used to get sick a lot, and I used to be petrified of getting sick. Everything in my world around that time, which was probably about 12 or 13 years ago, it was always, how do I avoid getting sick? I mean, I was a hypochondriac for real.
Right.
I was diagnosed with that. And then I was able to, like, with less anxiety, shake that. I don't worry as much. Now I have kids. Like, how could I constantly be worried about?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
a whole
you don't
other
like
layer.
to get sick
I
either
don't.
way.
No,
but
of course, and
it's
who
a part
does?
of being a human being.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't concern my whole life around it. But I
Right.
do think that there is a correlation between negativity. And I was around a lot of negativity for a lot of years.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes we can be super negative and not even realize that it's because of who we're around. You know, all the best to them. And we want them, you know, we love some of these people who are really negative, but it has an effect on our lives. And you see the fruit of this effect, and we have the power to change it.
And we also want them to change it as well. Those people that were around that maybe have a negative outlook on life. Once you realize, you know, like Jay just said, hey, I realize maybe the reason why I've been getting sick a lot this last year is because of my outlook. And good for you, Jay, for recognizing that. Because when you're around certain people who have a negative outlook on life and you start to remove yourself from that and you start to change your mindset, you want those people to also have a positive mindset because you want well for those people.
Sure. And it's almost like now you have a shield where their little negativity, although it can still affect us, it bounces off the shield.
Right, yeah.
And, you know, and they may see how fruitful your life has become, and maybe they'll be drawn to that. You never know. But here's, if that's not good enough news about being optimistic, it just so happens there's another headline today in the news. It turns out that being more optimistic can keep us from procrastinating. This is a really fascinating study that these researchers at the University of Tokyo did. They found that because they were curious, procrastination is so common, researchers have spent years trying to understand what drives some people to chronically postpone important chores until the last possible moment. These researchers found evidence that having a pessimistic view about how stressful the future will be could increase the likelihood of falling into a pattern of severe procrastination. And having an optimistic view on the future wards off the urge to procrastinate.
Man.
So do we need any more evidence to be optimistic?
That's great evidence. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, oh, I know I got to do that, but I don't want to do it. And then when I finally do it, I'm like, it wasn't even that serious. Like, this was
Right.
easy. But I was so stressed for like months at a time because I was procrastinating to get it done.
Well, this is the TJ Show. We are so happy that you're here. And how about hooray for optimism?
Hooray!
No. There you go, Kenny. You're getting the hang of it. J-Bo, I'm sorry in advance to do this to you. But if it's okay, can I do this to you?
What is it? What are you going to do to me?
I just need you to say yes if you could. Just say,
Just do it.
all right, there you go. Good. I like that. I like that you live on the edge a little bit. It's fun, right, Kenny?
You got me on the edge.
So I've noticed a little trend here as I've gotten to know J-Bo better. When we get places, or if I go out to the parking lot, I will see J-Bo just sitting in her car. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, like, what's she up to in there?
Oh,
And I said hello to you the other day in the parking lot. Hey, J-Bo.
Yeah,
And I thought,
after
all right, I'm
work,
going to
yeah.
let her leave first. But then she was just in there for a while. And I thought, okay, well, I think it's my time to leave now. And J-Bo really loves doing this.
I do.
And so
Yeah.
we've found some great success with asking ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence software, what's wrong with us when we notice that there's something, well, maybe there's nothing wrong
There's
with you.
nothing wrong with me. Why are you asking ChatGPT?
So I did that. I said, hey, ChatGPT, my friend J-Bo likes to sit in her car for prolonged
great.
periods of time. What's going on there? And once again, ChatGPT has generated an explanation. And I mean, let's see if it sounds right.
I'll tell you if it's right.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm using the help of Siri to read the results here, okay?
There could be several reasons why J-Bo likes to sit in her car for long periods of time. Some possibilities include personal space. She might find the car to be a private, quiet space where she can be alone and gather her thoughts without interruptions.
Does that resonate?
Yeah. So far, so good.
Maybe I need to try it.
Reflection time. Sitting in the car might provide her with a chance to reflect on her day, think through problems, or plan for the future in a distraction-free environment.
Does that resonate?
Why is she reading me so well?
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's super weird.
It freaks me out a little bit that, like, I want this to be wrong, and yet every time we try this and we know it's playing with fire, it seems to resonate with us.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Comfort. She may simply find the car seat comfortable and the environment soothing, perhaps even therapeutic.
It also bothers me that it sounds so zombie-like when we're hearing these results. It's like, get some humanity here.
There's no soul in her response. Let me tell you, those heated car seats, though, they work wonders on your back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love sitting there for
So
that.
it's like a little massage.
Escape. It could be a way for her to escape from stresses or responsibilities at home or work.
You get all this just from sitting in your car? How come you haven't told us about this sooner? What's your problem,
Because
J-Bo?
you may want to sit in the car with me, and I can't have that. You got to sit in your own car.
Well, that would be invading your personal space.
right.
The car can act as a temporary retreat. Safety if she doesn't feel safe or comfortable in other environments.
Do you not feel safe and comfortable?
No, I feel good.
Okay,
I
you
feel
do.
pretty
I was-
safe and comfortable in the places I go.
I was about to ask you if your husband Archie in the military taught you that one. If you're ever feeling safe and uncomfortable, just sit in your car and wait. It's a good trick.
She might choose to stay in her car where she feels more secure. Waiting. She might be waiting for something or someone, using the time to relax or catch up on activities like reading, listening to music, or making phone calls.
That sounds pretty
Yeah,
innocent.
making phone calls, scrolling through social activities.
Without more context about J-Bo's life and circumstances, it's challenging to pinpoint the exact reason.
Well, you just did it. You just pinpointed
I mean, she
it.
just read me, but she's like, but just in case I'm wrong, I need more info.
I can't stand that the computer is humble, too. That's so annoying. Like, if you're going to just be aggressive and take over everything, just be what you are.
Own it.
Yeah.
Each person's motivations and behaviors are unique, influenced by their individual experiences and current state of mind. Do you want to hear the next note?
No. Oh, wait, hold on. No, we've heard
That's
enough.
enough.
We're
She
there.
read
the
me very
Australian
well.
accent.
There it is. Keep sitting in your car, J-Bo. You're doing a fine job.
Oh, yeah, I plan on it.
You know, in the little hidden facts sheet about our camera guy, Josh, he used to be a school teacher for a lot of years.
Right.
And he was a great school teacher. He got a lot of good reviews, right? Weren't you like the top performers?
The best, yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah, that's pretty
believe
cool.
it.
It's every once in a while I'll find myself asking him school-related questions related to my kids. And something came up the other day. You know, my daughter Charlie had her year-end review, and we noticed that, like, there are certain things we have to do over the summer to keep her sharp, because otherwise kids just forget what they learned. I remember that's how I was in school.
Oh, yeah.
And Josh, you said, oh yeah, this is a thing.
Yeah, we call it the summer slide. In fact, I've seen studies that show children in 3rd to 5th grade specifically lose about 20% of their gains in reading and 27% of their gains in math over the summer.
Yeah, so it's like, do we want to allow our kids to slide backwards and then
Right.
have to catch up at the beginning of the year?
No.
And this is something that you and your teacher buddies talked about, and you came up with a plan to help them. So could you share that plan here?
Sure. Well, there's a couple things you can do. First is you've basically just got to keep them using those skills that they learned in the school year. So one of the ways you can do that is have them keep reading. A lot of kids don't touch a book in the summer, and you definitely don't want that. So
But
let
wait,
them.
how do you make reading fun? Because
Right.
I remember I was so bored by reading and the books that they gave us. Are there other books? How do we discover? I mean, we talked about this a little bit with our reading friend, Adriana Trigiani. What do we do there?
Well, the biggest thing is let them read something they enjoy. Like, have them pick out the books. During the school year for school, they don't really get to pick out the books.
So make it something special.
So have them read about something that they like. Get them excited to read.
Love that.
Another thing you could do is there's a lot of online games and puzzles and all kinds of stuff. I love this website, mathplayground.com. And specifically, there's a game called Penguin Jump where you can go against your kids with these basic math facts and everything like that. Because people forget about math too. It's important to read, but it's important to do math.
penguin jump.
Penguin
Whoa.
jump. You're
That
this
sounds
little
like fun.
penguin and you jump on these icebergs every time you get one right. If you get a fact wrong, then you fall in the water and you race
Whoa.
people.
I want to play J-Bo in penguin
That sounds
jump.
fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
All right, what else? How do we avoid the summer slide as we're getting back into the new school year?
One of the biggest things is just get out of the house and do fun things. Go to museums, maybe read a book like Hidden Figures about the mathematicians who sent astronauts into space, and then go to like a planetarium or something.
Love it.
Be fun. Go to the grocery store, tell your kids the budget, and then have them round up as they keep throwing things in the cart and ask them right before the checkout, hey, how much do you think all of this is?
It's wonderful.
Yeah,
See,
all those little things.
It requires a little bit of effort, but it's so worth it. And then, we've got the kid who can keep up.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great feeling as a parent.
I like the whole grocery store thing and having the kid keep track of the budget because it helps them apply math, of course, but also get a sense of like, oh, I can't eat all the snacks in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We only
yeah.
budgeted for this amount.
Yeah, and you can see how much mama and dad are spending at that dumb grocery store.
Right. To keep you fed.
Yeah, when we say, don't leave half your snack bars unfinished, or eat half the banana.
Right.
You'll know why.
Right.
Well, Josh, thank you for that. I appreciate that because this stuff really matters.
Sure,
We
it
want
does.
to. We don't want to be working at a slower pace than we have to, and let's just use every opportunity that we can and all the resources that we have. This is the TJ Show. The TJ Show is sponsored by Prize Picks. You want to play daily fantasy sports and it just seems so complicated? Well, what about Prize Picks for daily fantasy sports?
Prize Picks is cool because it's just you picking against stat projections, more or less on 2 to 6 players' stats. Everything from basketball finals, keep an eye out for star players for boosted payouts, and you can even use esports to add to your entries now.
Yeah, every Wednesday and Saturday in June, if your esport lineup doesn't win, you'll get your entry fee back. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. PrizePicks.com. Download the app today and use code TJShow for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code TJShow on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details. PrizePicks.com. Have I said it enough?
PrizePicks.com.
You got me.
What's good, everybody? It's Gerard Hector, the host and executive producer of the True Hoop Podcast. You guys can catch me and the godfather of basketball player development, Coach David Thorpe, every Monday and Thursday talking all things NBA.
It starts with Shea. Jalen Williamson, terrific. And a great coach. It starts with Shea. He's carrying a team. He's Michael Jordan right now.
Search for the True Hoop Podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate, review, subscribe. Catch us every Monday and Thursday. Take care.
This is the TJ Show. Our news, it sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he reads us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
YouGov.com just did a survey about airplane etiquette, and they released a list of unacceptable behaviors on an airplane. I have the top 10 for you.
Don't we know this already?
Have you seen the news lately?
Yeah,
People
that's
acting
true.
crazy on planes.
All right, maybe a little refresher.
Yes, I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay, so coming in at number 10, not setting your device to airplane mode. 64% said that was unacceptable. Number 9, exit the plane before the people in the row in front of you.
Oh, that's a big misstep. I don't like that.
65%.
You see somebody at the back of the plane dart for the front.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, bro. Just chill.
Number 8, not paying attention during the safety demonstration. 66% say that's unacceptable.
I'm guilty of that.
Been there.
Number 7, eating strong-smelling foods at 68%.
Well, that little coffee shop, though, in the airport, they sell that food, and I want to eat it.
And I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Number
I'm hungry.
6, using both armrests when someone is sitting next to you. 74% said that was unacceptable.
Well, when you're a dominant individual and you want both your elbows to be in a
Nah,
place.
bro, you about to get elbowed by me. I feel like if you sit in the middle, you should get both armrests.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Leaving trash in the seat back pocket when you leave the airplane. 79%.
That's rude.
Yeah, you're not a child.
Watching a movie or show without headphones. 81% found that unacceptable.
How
Yes.
can you physically even do that?
It's too loud.
You can't hear what you're
Yeah.
listening to. So you have to crank it way up, and then you're still not really hearing everything. Be
You're right.
honest. You need headphones.
Leaving your seat during turbulence. 82% found that unacceptable.
Yeah, but who wants to do that?
don't know.
I'm too scared to get up.
Yeah, when it's turbulent, don't you tighten your seatbelt and hang on to the seat in front of you?
I guess that's why it's an unacceptable behavior. At number 2, getting drunk on an airplane, 82% as well.
Yeah.
And number 1, letting your children play in the aisles,
Oh, come on.
86%.
All right.
That one doesn't bother me. Like, what else are they going to do? They can't play outside on the wing.
Again, why do you want your kids untethered on a plane? You're 30,000 feet up in the air.
They're not going anywhere.
Oh,
All they're going to go is from the front to back, front to back. That's it.
It's too risky. Kenny, what else do you have?
The country of Denmark has recalled 3 flavors of buldak ramen because they were too spicy.
Get out of here.
I kid you not.
Do you know,
funny.
This is a true story. I was getting tacos for lunch yesterday, and I was at this little taco stand. I love this woman. She's awesome. She makes the best tacos. And I said, hey, make them as hot as you possibly can. She was like, are you sure? And I said,
Mama.
she was like, do you eat jalapenos? And I go, yeah. All right, well, here it comes. So she put that on. She had 2 different kinds of sauces, and it was pretty hot, but I loved it. It was
Were
great.
you crying? What, was
No.
it so hot that you were tearing up?
It just cleared my head out a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit.
sure it did.
It got me thinking a little
And
clear.
your stomach later.
No, yeah. That is true. I
Yeah.
did have quite a,
Yeah.
but it was worth it.
Yeah.
It was worth
It's a
it.
nice little detox.
Kenny, what else is there?
Well, the makers of the ramen say that we understand the Danish Food Authority recalled these products, but it's not because of a problem with their quality. It's because they were too spicy. These products are being exported globally. This is the first time they have ever been recalled for that reason.
Wow, Chabo, you just made me realize
funny.
I have to redact a text I just sent to my wife. I said, hey, your dinner made me not feel great today.
spice. Oh,
no.
it was from lunch yesterday. Okay,
spice.
that's
Yeah.
good. I'm going to correct that.
All right.
Kenny, anything else?
Saving marriages. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying?
We learned the other day how Joey Chestnut has been banned from the Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest on Coney Island.
Now, of course, Joey, some refer to him as the GOAT of competitive eaters.
Mm-hmm.
He, I think, currently holds the world record still.
That's right.
No one has beaten him since yesterday. It's like 76 hot dogs.
Yeah, that was in 2021. He's won that competition 16 times, more than anybody ever has.
Incredible performer.
Before Joey Chestnut, there was Kobayashi. Do you remember Kobayashi? He
Yeah.
was the GOAT
Yeah.
before Chestnut came onto the scene. And Kobayashi had been retired from competitive eating, but yesterday we learned that there will be a live Netflix special on Monday, September 2nd, Labor Day, which is the hot dog eating contest that was mentioned in the banning story with Joey Chestnut.
So-
It will be Kobayashi versus Chestnut live on Netflix.
Hold on a second. So the Nathan's Famous one is happening at the same time as the Netflix special?
No, that's 4th of July.
Oh, okay.
Nathan's
This is gonna
Famous is
be
4th of
Labor
July.
Day, the Netflix
But
special.
if you remember during the story about him getting banned, they mentioned that Nathan's allowed him to compete in this Labor Day competition. We didn't know what it was. Now we know what it was. It's a live Netflix special. They're calling it Unfinished Beef.
Well, if Chestnut wanted to be rude, he could have probably scheduled it for the 4th of July, but he obviously doesn't want to hurt the Nathan's competition. He must have a real affection for it.
Does he have a say on when Netflix runs a special?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a Netflix special.
To me, that's a very nice hot dog eater move.
Nah, you're trying to give him points for something he might not have control over.
I'm glad we can
You're
have
very nice.
2 hot dog eating contests.
Just weeks ago, Kobayashi, who was 0-3 against Chestnut, I believe the last time they competed against each other was in 2009 at the Nathan's competition on 4th of July. Kobayashi said he's retired, but he said retiring for me will only happen after I take him down one last time. This rivalry has been brewing for a long time.
I'm nauseous just thinking about all
Yeah,
of it.
just the thought makes me sick.
But if they're going to do it, all right, fine.
I'll be tuned
guess
in.
I'll watch it.
I will not be watching that.
Smarter move, actually.
Yeah.
Kenny, what else is happening in the world?
Do you know when you're supposed to use your car's air recirculation button? That little button, it's a car icon with
yeah.
an arrow. When do you use that?
Well, I can tell you how one of my friends used to use it in high school.
Okay.
We'd go out and get some meatball sandwiches, and some of us were nice, some of us weren't. And he would hit that button after you know what happened. And it was unfair to all of us.
Well, there was an expert who shared an explanation of how and when you're supposed to use this on Facebook. The easy answer is to use it in the summer and turn it off in the winter, because the recirculation button takes air from inside the car and recirculates it throughout the cabin instead of pulling in fresh air from outside. So on a hot day, it's pulling in hot air. Therefore, your air conditioning system has to work twice as hard to cool down the car. And that can cause wear and tear on the car's AC system, as well as, be uncomfortable for you you inside the car.
My car might be like yours. I have two icons. One is a circulation one. It looks like a C. And then the other one has a little arrow that brings the air from the outside into the car.
Yeah.
So the one that looks like the C is the one that will circulate the air in your car.
Look at that. Yeah, I never really thought about it. It was like an extra button that I push sometimes, and other times I don't.
Yeah.
Also,
I never touched it. I was like, I don't know.
If you're stuck in traffic, you definitely want to use the car recirculation button because you're just pulling in pollutants and toxins from the cars. So that's another time to use it.
Kenny, what else you have?
For the past few years, police in the Finnish city of Espoo have been using this tactic to keep partying young kids off their local beach. They're blasting classical music from loudspeakers.
They don't like it?
The kids disperse. They've been doing it for
How
the
about
last
that?
6 years, so
That's
it's a
hilarious.
testament that it works.
That's offensive to classical
Yeah, it
music
is.
makers. There are some symphonies who are very hurt by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a popular beach, and about 6 years ago, the kids would be partying at night. They'd leave the beach totally littered, and when families would come the next morning for their beach day, they'd have to, navigate past broken glass bottles and things like that. But the work of Schubert and Vivaldi and Strauss seems to be keeping these youngsters away.
Oh, great work.
I don't know, that's my kind of party.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool. Anyway, Kenny, what else do you have?
How do you feel about putting mayo on a hot dog?
You're asking me to do a double gross thing. First, eat a hot dog. Second, eat mayo. So when you put them together, not a great combination in my opinion, but some people love both those things.
Yeah, hot dogs are yummy, I think. I just consider mayo on a hot dog the same way you would put mayo on a hamburger. It's beef.
What's the difference at that point?
Yeah.
I'm more of a fan. If I'm going to eat a hot dog, I've got to dress it up with, and I like the taste of it. I just know what it is, so I have a hard
Yeah,
time.
of course. I do too.
Finishing the job. But the mustard and ketchup combination on a great hot dog, that is wonderful. Like mustard is not appreciated as much as ketchup, and I just love it.
Put some chili cheese on that hot
Oh,
dog. Oh,
yeah.
baby.
Grinded up
Some
onions.
onion-
Oh!
Oh, I'm hungry.
So there was a TikToker who posted a video that's since gone viral complaining about how Costco, and of course they have their famous $1.50 hot dogs, Costco does not have a mayo dispenser at their hot dog station when you go to buy a hot dog.
You know when they say don't mess with a good thing? This is the only place that is selling like a full meal for $1.50. Now you want to start messing with it? Bring your own mayo.
That's
don't
it.
don't upset them. They're going to raise the prices.
Get some mayo packets, put it in your bag, and call it a day.
This caused quite the stir in the comments section. One person saying, mayo on a hot dog is a disease. I hope you get well soon.
Oh, that's a little rude. Okay, we were a little nicer
That's
about
mean.
it.
But this got so much attention that mayo maker Hellman's has heard the cry of people disappointed that Costco doesn't carry mayo dispensers, and they are inventing the mini mayo dispenser. They're calling it an innovative, miniaturized mayo delivery device designed to support mayo on dog lovers everywhere, especially consumers of our friends' iconic, delicious, and beloved $1.50 hot dogs.
Wonderful. You know, there was a person that I used to work with, and she had a food aversion when it came to mayo. Like, it would make her start gagging. And a guy that I used to work with, it's so funny just even thinking about it. He turned himself into Mayo Man. And you know how, like, Rambo has all those shotgun shells across his chest?
Yes.
He did that with little mayo packets and then came in with 2 big buckets of mayo and started flinging it at people. And she started getting nauseous in the radio studio. It was one of the funniest things I think I've ever
That's
seen in my
gross.
life.
That's gross.
Side note about mayo. Yes, Kenny, what else do you have?
Well, studies have shown that Americans are feeling more lonely than ever before, and some experts believe that this may be tied to the disappearance of a once common home feature, the dining room.
Yeah, there's a lot of research about this. Having conversation over a dinner table is essential.
Yeah.
It matters so much in the family dynamic. And my wife is very serious about that, and I've become very serious about it because I didn't know how much it mattered to talk.
That was a highlight for me growing up, is being able to sit down at the dinner table with my mom and my brother and just eat, you know?
Yeah, my parents are wonderful, but when I think back to when I would eat with my parents, you'd hear the fork scratch against the plate. And my wife notices there's a difference whenever we're having dinner with my family. It's usually very quiet, and she just barrels the conversation and just talks and forces my parents to talk.
Well, there seems to be less dining rooms in new homes, also in apartment buildings. People are choosing other features over the dining room. And we're also seeing that the number of people living in single-person households has risen quite a bit in recent years. So one possible contributing factor to the loneliness epidemic in the United States might be the loss of the dining room.
Yeah, let's eat, talk, get some hot dogs with mayo, and share how much we hate it. Kenny, thank you for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.
I was telling you about how my daughters cornered one of our dinner guests recently with a book of riddles. Mm-hmm. And just, I guess the appropriate term is just assaulted him with riddles. Just riddle after riddle after riddle. And we were all having a great time with it. I'm like, man, I really miss riddles. Like, they are fun to try to figure out. So producer Kenny hit the streets and asked a bunch of people random riddles. You want to try to figure some of these out?
Oh, yeah, I love riddles.
What's your name?
Maria.
Maria, nice to meet you.
You as well.
Do you like riddles?
Yes, but I'm very bad at them.
You want to give a riddle a try?
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you one.
See, you could hear the excitement there. He's like, okay. Like, no one thinks to bring up riddles at a party because then you're the riddler. You're a riddle guy.
Right. But the excitement or the stress?
Yeah, but it could be stress.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Oprah Winfrey was running in a race and she passed the person in 4th place, what place is she in?
Say that again?
If Oprah Winfrey was running in a race and she passed the person in 4th place, what place would she be in?
3rd. Right?
No. She passed the runner in 4th.
Oh, 4th. Right. See, that's obvious. You're messing me up.
She could be in first place.
If you pass the runner in 4th place, I guess the question is asking what place is she in once she passes the runner.
You're
in
leaving
4th
out
place.
Information, Riddler.
Well, that's the point. You're supposed to try to confuse
She could
people.
be in first, she could be in second, she could be in third because she's past the 4th runner.
Yeah, fair point.
3rd.
No, she'd be in 4th place.
Oh my God.
Kenny, you're making
'cause she
people.
passed okay.
Yeah, see? Okay. All right, fine. Yeah, I sounded like an idiot there for a second, all right? I'm sorry. But also, J-Bo brings up a good point. There's a lot of information that's been removed.
Mm-hmm.
My name's Kenny.
You want to get mad? You want to do another one?
Yeah, let's do another one.
What's your name?
Josie?
Hi, Josie. Do you like riddles?
Sure.
See again.
She sounds so annoying right now.
It's like, okay, here we go.
Can I give you one?
Sure.
Okay. Let's say Big Bird's favorite color is yellow, obviously. If Big Bird lived in a one-story house where everything was yellow walls, yellow doors, yellow furniture, what color are the stairs?
My kids love this one, so I know the answer. I can't answer it. What's your answer?
You never said if he was on the first floor or second floor, so how do you know if he had stairs?
It's a one-story house.
It's a one-story house. He did have no stairs.
There you go. You figured it out.
Look at that.
Stairs.
Brick?
Brick. See, I think people get nervous and they answer too fast. No, it's not brick.
Well, it's a one-story house, so there are no stairs.
Okay.
All right, we'll get off the riddles.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Take care.
I'm glad you took the cue. She doesn't want any more of
Listen,
those.
she regrets talking to Kenny.
Oh, yeah, of course.
If there are 3 apples and Beyonce takes away 2, how many apples would Beyonce have?
J-Bo?
Beyonce has 2 apples.
2 apples.
2. Yeah. You didn't fall for that one. No. Well done.
Is it even a riddle, or is that just asking to state something obvious?
No, I think the goal of that riddle, if you wanted to get somebody to answer incorrectly, they would subtract 2
And
from
say
3
1.
and say 1. You may have been born at night, but it wasn't last night,
Right.
as my father would say.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
That's good.
all kinds of feelings with riddles. Thank you, Kenny.